Have you ever seen Mahjong before? Maybe in a movie, maybe at a friend's house, maybe in a game. And after watching for a few minutes, you find yourself even more confused than before. At least that's how I felt. The first time I saw Mahjong, I had absolutely no idea what anyone was doing. The table was covered in tiles. Everyone was playing incredibly fast. It seemed like everyone knew the rules. Except for me. What's worse, when I started searching online for how to play Mahjong, I found that many explanations used all sorts of technical jargon. It sounded impressive, but for someone completely unfamiliar with Mahjong, it only made things more confusing. So in this video, I wanted to try a different approach, without a bunch of technical terms, and without assuming you already know any of the rules. We'll start from the very basics. Let's see step by step. What exactly is Mahjong all about? Part 1. Getting to know Mahjong tiles. Many beginners make a mistake right from the start, seeing a whole set of Mahjong tiles. Then they immediately get nervous. Oh no, how can I remember so many tiles? Believe me, you don't need to. Really, you don't need to. If you try to memorize everything on the first day, you'll most likely get more and more confused. So let's change our approach. Don't think of Mahjong as 144 unfamiliar tiles. Think of it as playing cards. Isn't it suddenly not so scary? Playing cards have suits. Mahjong has suits too. They just look different. Circles. Next up are the circles. This group is usually the easiest for everyone to recognize, because it's very straightforward. One circle. That's one. Two circles. That's two. Three circles. That's three. There are absolutely no hidden rules. What you see, that's what it is. One. Tiles. Then we come to the group many foreigners fear most. Tiles with Chinese characters. Almost every beginner sees this and thinks, wait a minute. Before playing Mahjong, do I have to learn Chinese first? Don't worry. Absolutely not. Really, Mahjong isn't a language test. You don't need to be able to read these characters. You don't need to know what they mean. You just need to know. They are numbers. That's all. Once you accept this, these tiles suddenly aren't so scary. Like the Bing Bing tiles from 1 to 9 1 Tiao, Tao, tiles. Let's look at this group first. Many people pause for a moment when they first see this. What are these? Bamboo? Chopsticks? Small green sticks? Actually, what they're called doesn't matter. You only need to know one thing. They are numbers. From 1 to 9. It's that simple. If you can count, you've already learned this group. Special cards. Finally, there are some special cards. Many people will start to feel overwhelmed at this point. Don't worry. It's actually simpler than you think. Right now, you don't even need to know their names. You only need to know how to do one thing. Check if two cards are the same. For example, are these two cards the same? No. Are these two cards the same? Yes. Great. Then you've grasped the most important part. Part 2: Shuffling. Before it officially begins, a particularly interesting scene will unfold. Everyone pours out their cards. Then they start frantically stirring. If this is your first time seeing it, you'll find it incredibly stress-relieving. Honestly, this is probably many people's favorite part of Mahjong. Everyone pushes the cards around, flipping them over. It looks like they're playing in the sand, but this is actually shuffling the cards. Part 3: Stacking the cards. After shuffling, everyone will start building a wall. That's right. It's really called a card wall. When I first heard this name, I thought they were joking, but you'll soon realize that all the cards you draw from here will come from here. If you've played poker, you can think of this wall as a pile of cards. Mahjong just makes it more ceremonial. And each side is a 2-layered brick wall with 17 tiles. Part 4: Dealing the cards. The dealing begins. Most players will receive 13 cards. There's only one exception. That's the dealer. The dealer will receive 14 cards. Why? Because they're about to start their first round, so they need one more card. Part 5: What's the game actually like? Next, you'll discover something. Mahjong rounds are actually ridiculously simple. When it's your turn, you only need to do two things. First, draw a card. Second, discard a card. That's it. Really, it's that simple. Draw a card. Decision. Discard a card. Then the game rotates counterclockwise. Next, it's your turn to draw and discard. Your opponent draws and discards. Your opponent to your left draws and discards. And so on. The truly complex part of Mahjong is never the actions. It's the decisions. Mahjong is actually like a jigsaw puzzle. Here's a crucial way to understand it. Don't think of Mahjong as a numbers game. Think of it as a jigsaw puzzle. Each time you draw a tile, it's like taking a new puzzle piece out of a box. Sometimes, it's exactly what you need. Sometimes, it's completely useless. Your job is to slowly assemble the correct pieces. Think of it as a jigsaw puzzle. Each time you draw a piece, it's like taking a new puzzle piece out of a box. Sometimes, it's exactly what you need. Sometimes, it's completely useless. Your job is to slowly put the correct pieces together. Part 6. How to win at Mahjong. Now we come to the most important question. Everyone keeps drawing tiles. Keep playing tiles. What are you really pursuing? The answer is actually very simple. You're collecting combinations, not collecting good tiles. This is a point that many beginners easily overlook. The most important thing in Mahjong isn't a single tile. It's whether it can form a complete set with other tiles. For example, the hand above. 6, 7, 8 of circles. 2, 3, 4 of bamboo. 3 red dragons. 6, 7, 8 of bamboo. A pair of 70,000 tiles, that's a winning hand. Most winning hands consist of multiple sets of 3 tiles forming sequences or triplets, or 2 identical tiles forming a pair. Let me explain these combinations in detail. First combination, pair. Pair. 2 identical tiles. For example, 2 north winds, 2 twos of circles, 2 ones of bamboo, 2 70,000 tiles. These are all pairs. They seem the least impressive, but they are an essential part of a complete winning hand. Second combination, triplet. The second combination is simpler. 3 identical tiles. For example, 3 red dragons, 3 north winds, 3 twos of circles, 3 ones of bamboo, 3 50,000 tiles. If you play poker, you can think of it as 3 of bamboo. Different games, same logic. Third combination, sequence consecutive numbers. For example, 6, 7, 8 of bamboo, 1, 2, 3 of bamboo, or 1, 2, 3 of won, 5, 6, 7 of won, or 7, 8, 9 of bing, for 5, 6 of bing. If you've played poker, this is essentially the concept of a straight. Exactly the same. Here's a point to clarify. A straight must consist of 3 consecutive cards. 4 are not allowed. For example, a combination of 1, 2, 3, 4 of bamboo is not valid. You must discard either 1 or 4 of bamboo. Similarly, a 5-card straight is also not allowed, such as 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of won. In this case, you must choose a combination and discard any extra cards. Secondly, a straight must consist of cards of the same suit or shape. Different suits cannot form a straight. For example, putting 1 of won with 2 and 3 of bamboo is not allowed. Finally, I understand. Many people, when they reach this point in their learning, will experience a sudden realization. It's not about memorizing cards. It's about finding patterns. At that moment, the entire game becomes much easier. So, what are the winning hand patterns or rules? Let's look at them. First, the first type is a sequence of 1, 2, 3 of bamboo, a sequence of 4, 5, 6 of dots, 3 sets of 9 of characters, 3 sets of red dragon, and 1 pair of white dragons. This results in 2 sequences, 2 sets of sets, and 1 pair to win. The second type is a sequence of 7, 8, 9 of bamboo, a sequence of 1, 2, 3 of characters, a sequence of 7, 8, 9 of dots, 3 sets of north winds, and 2 pairs of 1 of dots. This results in 3 sequences, 1 set of sets, and 1 pair to win. The third type is a winning hand consists of a 4, 5, or 6 dot sequence, 3 sets of 6 bamboo triplets, 3 sets of 6 won triplets, 3 sets of white dragon triplets, and 2 pairs of west wind. This totals 1 sequence, 3 sets of triplets, and 1 pair. The fourth type is the dragon 7 pairs hand. For example, the hand above includes 2, 5 1, 2 5 dots, 2 2 dots, 2 8 bamboo, 2 west winds, 2 north winds, and 2 east winds. This is a very powerful hand in Mahjong, usually resulting in at least double the reward. In short, remember this formula. As long as your hand matches the formula, you can win. Part 7: Eating, Ponging, and Konging. Now things get interesting. Although when it's your turn, you can only draw and discard, but sometimes you can take the discarded tiles. Fourth, you can't just take them whenever you want. You must follow the rules. Ponging. If you already have 2 identical tiles, whether it's your turn, your opposite position, or your superior position, only if they happen to play their 3rd card, you can call Pong. For example, if your turn plays a north wind, you can Pong the card and take it. This forms 3 identical cards. Then you can play another card. Isn't it simpler than you imagined? Eating cards. If someone else plays a card, that can help you form a consecutive sequence. You can eat the card. However, there are certain restrictions on eating cards. You can only eat cards played by the player to your left. You cannot eat cards played by your turn or your opposite position. You can only eat cards played by the player to your left. For example, if we have a 5 of bamboo and a 6 of bamboo, it can form a sequence with a 4 of bamboo or a 7 of bamboo. If your superior plays a 4 of bamboo, you can take it, completing the sequence. That's called eating. Then you play another card and it's over. In short, eating is completing a consecutive combination. Pong is completing a matching combination. Essentially, it's all about borrowing someone else's tiles, completing your own puzzle. Kong, Gang. This point, you might be thinking of a question. Wait a minute. If 3 identical tiles are called a Pong, what about 4 identical tiles? The answer is Kong, Gang. It's actually very easy to understand. If a Pong is 3 identical tiles, then a Kong is 4 identical tiles. It's that simple. For example, I currently have 3 twos of circles, 3 west winds, 3 north winds. These are all Pongs. Now, if a 4th identical tile appears, for example, my opponent to my left just discards a west wind, then I can immediately Kong, turning the original 3 west winds into 4 west winds. Here's a point many beginners easily overlook. While Kong and Pong seem very similar, there's a very important difference. After a Pong, you need to discard a card immediately. The game continues. But after declaring a Kong, the story isn't over yet. You can draw an extra card. This is what people commonly call drawing a replacement card. Why draw a replacement card? Because you just expanded your original 3-card combination to 4 cards. So the system will give you another card, keeping your hand size normal. And here comes the really exciting part. Guys, often, this replacement card is exactly the card you've been waiting for. You declare a Kong, draw a replacement card, and then you realize, wait, I won. This situation is called winning on a Kong. To be honest, this is one of the most beloved moments for many Mahjong players, because it always feels like a movie scene. You just wanted to declare a Kong, but the replacement card completed your entire hand. Furthermore, in many Mahjong rules, a Kong Gong often grants an extra bonus, so it not only looks impressive, but can also significantly increase your final score. However, for beginners, you only need to remember this for now. When you see 4 identical tiles, congratulations, you've learned how to Kong. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You understand Mahjong better than you did 20 minutes ago, and you might have noticed something. The real difficulty in Mahjong is never the rules. It's the initial feeling of unfamiliarity. Once you get past that initial hurdle, you'll find that it's actually more like a jigsaw puzzle, more like playing cards, and easier to understand. As for what comes next, let's look at everyone's favorite part, shuffling the cards. That sound is so relaxing. Okay, that's all for today's sharing. Thank you for watching.